Joe of Nutritional Frontiers, and welcome back to Jamie and Joe Show. What is the Jamie and Joe Show?
It's still the longest running episodic duo healthy talk show on the air, anywhere on the air today, running strong.
And multiple award winner for the most entertaining show.
Yeah, and our award shows are epic.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, of course, most of the entertainment comes from Joe, the co-host, the one and only Joe Messino. So welcome back, Joe. You look great. I know you had a big birthday last week, as you would say.
Yes.
After 40, they're all big.
They're all big.
So welcome back. I know you had a big birthday weekend.
Sure did.
You invented the birthday weekend.
I think I did.
So welcome back. This is not April Fools, but April Focus. So what are we going to talk about here in April? Because I am so excited. We got some big events going on.
Oh, yeah.
We are on Robert Scott Bell radio show tomorrow. Mm-hmm. This Saturday, we got the professional training event at Nutritional Frontiers going on. So that's a big event we are excited for. That is on biohacking, how to maximize your human potential.
And there it is. Of course, Philly don't miss a beat. Oh, got it up there. Of course, we have the two renowned speakers at this event, right? Leading it off, of course, our fearless leader here, Mr. Jamie Dorley himself, will kick it off and share the stage with the one and only Dr. Tracy Strauss.
It better be a big stage because she is still, I don't want to upset anyone, she's still my favorite speaker. We're super excited. We're going to talk about how to biohack your way with lifestyle, nutritional deficiencies, of course, toxicity, and she's going to bring in that unique component with the genetics.
Well, that's great. I mean, this is a great way that you see taking something that could be a negative, like hacking into a computer, turning it into a positive, biohacking your own health, and then helping your family.
And prep for this, I've been listening a lot to my mentor, Dr. Jeffrey Bland. And, it was interesting because, I met him 20 years ago, and he says now nutrigenomics and epigenetics started 20 years ago.
So
this one I met
him.
Have
a name for it.
Yeah. Well, he did, right? I think he came up with the name, but it was so interesting because, here we are 20 years later, and we assume people know this, but they may not. So Saturday, April 9th, right here in Pittsburgh, PA, big event. We do have a couple seats remaining. It's going to be a sold-out event.
Yes, it will.
And then April 28th through the 30th, we'll be in Hollywood, Florida at the A4M, which is the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. We'll be at booth 1009 if you want to come check us out. And where are you going to be that weekend?
That weekend, I'll be in the state of Texas. I'll be in lovely Houston, the American Chiropractic Association Council on Nutrition, along with Dr. Mary and, of course, Lynn Stein.
Know what I hear? Houston, we have a problem.
Oh, boy.
Nutritional Frontiers is coming to town, so look out. So we're excited, Joe. We're talking about April Focus. Right. So what is the topic for April?
Well, April Focus, I mean, it's allergies, Jamie. I mean, it's on the the same trend coming out this whole year. Everything is about your body, your immune system, your health, your heart health, and this focus on allergies. I often wonder, is it really seasonal allergies, or is it just a result of a weakened immune system?
Well, it's interesting you brought that up because, I think everyone thinks the body is static, right?
Right.
And when I'm listening to Dr. Bland explain this, he would say this incredible transformational dance that occurs. Mm-hmm. That your genetics are constantly responding to the environment and how food is information.
Right.
The environment is information, right? Toxicity is information. It's all working in a concert, right? Mm-hmm. And based on the environment, maybe that's why you get more allergies in the spring. You're outside.
Yep.
Everything's starting to bloom. So the body is in constant motion and it's responding to the environment it's in, which is really fascinating when you think about it at a cellular level.
Exactly. And so, we got to really dig a little deeper on this and go and ask the question, what is an allergic reaction, right? Well, there's an actual definition according to the Mayo Clinic. Allergies occur when your immune system reacts to a foreign substance.
We were just talking about, right?
That foreign substance, Jamie, can be pollen, could be bee venom, bed dander. It could even be a synthetic chemical, injected into your body. your body's going to react to it.
It could be a food.
It could be a food. Right. I mean, we talked with Jeff Nisnik here at the World of Wellness last week, and he really broke it down on there's 3,200 possible causes of allergic reactions. That's a lot.
And then if you think out, 100 trillion cells in a body, each one has its own life of its own.
Yeah, that's right.
And how it's responding to everything. And it could be outside where you're exposed to. It could be internal. It could be emotional. It could be anything.
And he even brought up the fact that if you got bit by a cat, or a playful bite, or from a cat when you were a young kid, he said later on in life you could develop a cat allergy based on that bite because of the energy involved.
I got an allergy to Billy Heller. He bit me when I was a kid, so you never know.
Yeah, he's not around though, is he?
No.
Yeah. All right, so what happens next? Your immune system produces antibodies, okay? And this is they identify this foreign thing as harmful. Maybe sometimes it really isn't, but that's how your body's identifying it. Then the severity of it depends on the person, and it can range from mild sensitivities that might trigger something else or full-blown anaphylactic response, like some people have to bee stings and peanuts.
Yeah, peanuts, shellfish, those are the most common anaphylactic. I think when you say, somebody has an allergy, or it's really a second level sensitivity, right?
Right.
So that they may have a response, but they're not going into full anaphylaxis.
Exactly.
Right.
So, what's out there for everybody? Well, the allopathic course of action. You're going to like this one. All right. Avoid known triggers. Oh, well, that's great. Good logic. So in other words, if it's pollen, listen to this. According to the Mayo Clinic, just stay inside with the windows and doors closed.
It's a great idea for springtime. I'm telling everyone to get fresh air and go outside.
Unbelievable. Gets better. If it's dust, you know what they want you to do?
Wear a mask.
Dust and vacuum off. This is right off the Mayo Clinic website. And they want you to keep a diary because, you got to help your doctor through all this because, he's not there to help you. You're there to help him. Wear a medical alert. Now, look, if it is a full-blown anaphylactic, that's a good idea.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. We'll give them that. But for most part, thanks a lot, Mayo Clinic. Now, look at some of these over-the-counter options, Jamie. Allegra, Zyrtec, Claritin, Benadryl. I think that's one most people have been familiar with for a long time, right? Not too bad. Zyrtec has just been, along with, I think its cousin Zantac, the same cancer-causing ingredient. So that might be pulled from the shelves. And look at some of these adverse effects. Now, you first glance, you might say, they're not too bad. Drowsiness, well, unless you're driving a car, right? Constipation, you get backed up, all those toxins, that's not good. We've talked about that for a long time. Blurred vision. What if, if you're doing something that requires vision? Urination problems. But look at this. I love this. Never mix with antidepressants, sleeping pills, and alcohol. What do you think the three most common drugs and stimulants are? So I think people are mixing them, and that's not good. All right. So how about our approach?
I love it.
All right. Let's do a functional nutrition approach instead. If an allergic reaction is a reaction of the immune system, doesn't it make sense that we should just strengthen the immune system in general?
Yeah, absolutely.
Survey says?
I say strengthen the immune system,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And I do agree in part of what they're saying. I'm not going to lock myself in. I'm looking at food as an example, right?
Right.
You should, if you know you're lactose intolerant, which everyone is, it's a matter of how much, right?
What degree, right?
So those are times you should avoid certain foods, right? Because you're at high risk, right?
Exactly.
And that's another example of how toxic the food is. That you actually have known food allergies.
Yeah, and there's a lot. I've seen a lot of people over the years muscle test people, especially family members, to make sure there was no nuts in a certain food at a restaurant, for example. And that's a good thing to do. But then, why not take it a step further and relieve that allergy, right? Like the allergy reversal technique that Jeff does. Okay, so I say you can't separate allergies and the immune system, right?
No.
Let's look at our suite of products.
Hand in
hand. Here's our suite of products that we're going to cover. Okay?
Well, I love them because Airmax is something we've been using for allergies, not only to deal with some of the common symptoms, but also to rebalance those T helper cells.
Yeah.
It's got a very unique ingredient called perilla seed extract that's going to help with rebalancing
Absolutely.
the allergen.
Yes.
Right?
So these are all, antioxidant based. We're going to cover that in some more detail, all clean. And then, of course, we're going to go over the brand new product of the month for Nutritional Frontiers. We complained for 1.5 years, 2 years since the Women's Complete came out. We finally got ours, but we'll cover that too. All right, so Airmax, that's our foundation, right?
There it
and
is.
Here it is.
Then you got.
And why? Because it's a patented research trademark ingredient, right at the heart of this formulation. So it's not just perilla leaf extract, it's a patented researched form of perilla leaf. Animal and in vitro studies. So that shows you that both in the test tube and in live animals, we got a reduced allergic inflammatory reaction. And the IgE is the immunoglobulin that is directly related to allergic responses. And of course, it's going to help lower histamine. Another PRT, okay? We've got zinc arginate chelate. Of course, we know about zinc in the immune system for a long time, but it actually helps decrease some of these cells and lymphocytes that are directly related to
it's fantastic.
allergic reactions. Oh, quercetin, right? How about this getting some press lately, right? I mean, it's been all over the place. Why? Well, we know, and we've known for a long time, it outperforms an actual pharmaceutical called cromolyn, right? In reducing inflammation, there's a clinical trial on it. And that's not even a patented research trademarked ingredient, but it also helps to calm that cytokine.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, sometimes these natural ingredients can be a pharmaceutical, like NAC, right? And then sometimes they become over the counter, like DHEA, right? So it's not always just because they're a pharmaceutical, they're bad, or they're natural that they're good.
Right.
It's more of the classification, but more the ingredient itself, right? I mean, you look at some of the ingredients that are pharmaceuticals. Lavazza's fish oil.
Yeah.
Right. So there are some good things that they're doing that are termed pharmaceuticals, and there's some things that are natural that you probably don't want to ingest.
Exactly.
I have a personal testimonial.
Testimonial.
Oh, here we go.
All right,
come
bring
on
it in,
down
Phil.
From behind the scenes, right here.
The director, Phil. How are you guys?
Nice to see you,
nice
Phil.
Nice to see you.
Getting taller and better looking every day. This kid.
No, honestly. All right. There you go. Is that better? No. Honestly, I was taking Zyrtec for so long. Like when I was a kid, from 14 to 20, every year my allergies would get worse and worse, and I didn't know what was going on. I would take the Zyrtec, but it would help ease those symptoms. But every year it was just worse than the previous year. And then when I started working here, I asked Jeff. I was like, Jeff, what should I do? How can I help this problem that I have? And he goes, try the Airmax. And it was instant. The chewables, it was instant. I could tell there was a crazy difference. Now I take Airmax, and sometimes I don't even have to take Airmax. That's how good my body is against these allergies. So it really is something amazing. Yeah.
Glad you're doing so well.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah, we've seen so many testimonials, right, with Airmax. We know it works with foods. We know it works with environmental pollens and allergies, and it works with pet as well, which is a big one for a lot of people. It also has elderberry. Now, this is nature's a natural antiviral. Some people call it Sambucus, right?
Yep.
Right? But it reduces mucus.
We love the elderberry. Been using it as a standalone, as a cough syrup, in the wellness center for years.
Long time.
It really helps suppress and calm down that mucus production.
Right.
So think about Doc's whole protocol.
Yeah.
Get off dairy products.
Yeah.
Take Airmax, right? Because we want to both restrict your exposure to whatever that irritant is, and then we want to help the body do its best.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's an example of that product right there. I mean, look at the combination and comprehensiveness of the ingredients. I mean, sometimes I forget how good some of these formulas are.
That's right. That takes us right to ProRes. Now, we've been covering the colors here just about every month, right? The Pro colors from Nutritional Frontiers. Each one of them is a comprehensive, complete fruit and vegetable drink mix powder. Each one of them has gone through an overview.
And just if you're listening out there and then you see these commercials for this new product out there, it would take over 40 capsules to get one drink, and you still wouldn't get everything that we have.
Still wouldn't get it, right? Now, this is
I've been getting a lot of calls on those.
Okay. Yeah. So, it's been enhanced with an immune health blend. Now there's arabinogalactans in there and, of course, DMG, dimethylglycine. And arabinogalactans, Jamie, a lot of times people come in and they say, yeah, I know you have probiotics. Do you have any prebiotics? Yes, right here. That's exactly what they are.
And actually has been proven to show that it increases the number of immune cells in the intestinal tract.
That's right.
So a great ingredient.
Now, this one was always our antioxidant formula, free radical fighter, but now it's got a brain health blend in it as well. What an overhaul this took, right? Inositol and phosphatidylserine, both very, very important for the integrity of the brain and the brain blood-brain barrier. Now, ORAC. A lot of people still don't know what that stands for.
I'll tell you what it stands for.
What's it stand for?
Oxidative, reactive, absorbance capacity.
There you go.
So what ORAC means is what ability does it have to clean up the oxidative stress? So think of Pac-Man cleaning up any foreign or damaged cells in your body. And the ORAC value on this is about 5,000.
Right.
Which is what you need per day. You know what the average person gets per day?
Yeah.
1,200.
Yeah, that's one serving of fruits and vegetables.
So they're getting 25%. And no joke, they include ketchup and French fries in your vegetables.
Yeah. Yeah, well, French fries and beer are vegan too. So, it's not just because it's vegan doesn't mean it's healthy. But there's, of course, two of my favorite ingredients, grapeseed and resveratrol. Love both of these. And the resveratrol comes from the Japanese knotweed instead of the pine bark. But my God, it's perfect. Heart health blend. Can't get away from this,
got
right?
The trans resveratrol, the L-carnitine pulling the lipids out of the blood to convert them to ATP.
Yep.
And CoQ10, coenzyme Q10, involved with energy production inside your muscle, plus the brain, heart, and liver. And you got to be careful with a lot of medications actually deplete CoQ10. That's why we fortify the reds with it.
Exactly. Then, of course, it always had an eye health blend, but not like this one. Now we've got a patented, research, trademarked ingredients, Lutamax, in there, which is the one that the multiple studies were done on for eye health, Jamie. And not just that, but skin, heart, endurance, all of those things.
2019 Ingredient of the Year award winner.
That's right. There you go. Of course, lycopene and astaxanthin. These, if you look at these bullet points, they could be individual formulas for a lot of companies, right? They are.
I'm even blown away here by seeing the updated form of this.
It's amazing.
So I love it.
Yep. So then we have another great antioxidant formula, 2020. Now, this was an eye formula originally, right?
Does it have its ACEs in it? ACE and selenium?
You see, now you got to get on Jeopardy.
I like to
the
play
answers
cards
before we ask the question.
I know ACE is high, Joe.
Look at that.
You couldn't make this up.
Nah. What's it stand for, Jim?
Vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, and selenium. So anytime you look at antioxidants, those are the four key. They call them the ACEs.
Right. And, of course, right back with the PRTs. Our Trax Zinc formula, Activin grapeseed extract, Lutamax, and Lycomata. There's four right here in this one formula, 2020. And this is why it's been nicknamed the baseline antioxidant formula. It's not just for your eyes, but Activin's got all the studies over the years, 20 plus years. And again, the two, Lutamax and Lycomata. You just can't beat this.
I can see that this is clearly a top antioxidant formula.
Antioxidant.
I'm going to change baseline to top.
Top. There you go. And then you mentioned NAC.
Yeah,
there
it used to be a prescription for
Yeah.
lung health, right? For
Right.
breathing, asthma. It was an over-the-counter, and now it's a natural ingredient. So ingredients do get different classifications
Right.
over the years, depending on it. It doesn't mean it's any safer or any more harmful. It's a classification.
Mm-hmm.
The natural ingredients tend to be on the supplement or nutraceutical side. However, there is some flip-flopping going on back and forth.
Yeah, there is. N-acetylcysteine, vital for respiratory health. It also it's the number one precursor to glutathione in the body. That's why it's in the antioxidant support.
Love it.
There's zeaxanthin, astaxanthin. We've seen studies on astaxanthin that at 4 milligram dose, which is in this, is sometimes thousands of times better than other antioxidants.
Unbelievable.
Right? It's just incredible.
I just like the comprehensiveness because sometimes in the nutraceutical industry, what you find in our field, Joe, is that, somebody will market one ingredient, the be all end all.
Right.
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 And I says, look, if you're eating an orange, right? There's vitamin C in there.
Yeah.
But there's all types of phytonutrients, right?
Right.
You have all different types in there.
Right.
The fiber, the phytonutrients, the vitamin C. So when you look at these comprehensive formulas, the reason we do that is because in nature you'll get all the different ingredients in the proper ratios, and that's what we're doing here.
Right. There's not a single food on the planet that delivers only one nutrient. That's why these combinations are so important. Look who's back. Quercetin back in 2020 as well. I mean, look at this lineup. Selenium, vitamin C, NAC.
I love it.
Astaxanthin, quercetin, and alpha-lipoic acid. Rounding
Incredible.
off, right? This is an antioxidant formula, folks, bar none.
And you need more than just lutein for the eyes, because the eyes, as we learned last week, are the tissue that's inside the body but exposed to the most oxidative stress on the outside, and they're very sensitive to oxidative stress. So you need the antioxidants, plus you need all of the phytonutrients in here in combinations.
Exactly. You know, and people might say, well, why is this on the allergy list? Well, because you're strengthening the body's response mechanism. That's the key. Inflam. Oh, now, you know, this is a great, used to have a Roman numeral 2 at the end, but, you know, we stopped doing that. People were getting confused. But if you want a complete herbal, vegetarian, anti-inflammatory, and allergies produce inflammatory
responses. And this has some of the top historically used herbs out there. So there's things like holy basil. Absolutely. I mean, this is excellent for any respiratory issues, great anti-inflammatory, cardiovascular disease. So I love it. I love this combo with boswellia, and I'm sure boswellia is in here.
It's in there.
Well, we have the curcumin now too. So, I mean, loaded.
Yeah, people are going to start seeing PRT, and they're going to be recognizing this. They're going to be looking for it in other. Hey, there's no PRTs. Yeah, well, there's 2 in this one. You got bioperine, and you have the curcumin. So
number one curcumin on the market.
Yes. What's the latest on the absorption rate?
46% better.
Right. Okay. Then other curcumin on the market.
And it's the only curcumin that's been studied on the American population. All the others are studied on the Indian population, which consumes a lot of curcumin in their diet.
Right. Exactly. Great point. Berberine. Wow. What a versatile nutrient this is. We see it in diabetes formulas. We see it in anti-inflammatory formulas. But it's just so effective against anything going on chronically in the body, which is where most of this inflammation is. And there's your boswellia.
There we go. I used boswellia years ago by itself.
Yeah, it was always
that was one of the herbs that Dr. Bland was promoting going back 25 years ago. And he says it works extremely well as a natural selective 2-COX inhibitor. So you don't get any side effects associated with things like Vioxx or Celebrex.
Right. And you can see we have 2 Ayurvedic herbs in here, right? Holy basil and boswellia. They go back thousands of years, folks. And now it's time. Introducing the newest member of the Complete series. And I think if you guys remember, we started to, we've gotten so many formulas that have the word complete in the name. We have a whole series of complete formulas.
Oh, there we go, Joe.
There it is.
I was starting to feel, a little discriminated against, but the women's complete, we have the Frontier Multi, and now we have the men's complete.
Great addition. I mean, if you need to talk about, multi in general in this day and age.
You know what? I'm actually going to be talking about this on Saturday, and here's why. I did some more homework on this. I think people take the multi for granted, like you just said. You have to talk about it. You do have to talk about it. Because most people are not taking a multi.
Right.
JAMA in 2002, I looked up their studies again. For the first time in 40 years, they changed their position from eat right to eat right and take a multi. And they said it's not just for prevention anymore, but it's for treatment of chronic disease.
Right, because chronic disease is all about nutrient deficiencies. And we know, as you have this beautiful picture here, but I'm sorry, the quality of the soil is just not there. The vitamins and minerals are just not there.
And you need the multi, because these are all the cofactors and all the biochemical reactions of the body. We were talking earlier about this whole thing with nutrigenomics.
Right.
Well, if you're lacking in certain nutrients, the cells aren't going to work the same.
Mhm.
Think about your car without oil.
Exactly.
Would it work real well?
No, and how many bodies have are without oil because they're not taking their fish oil supplements?
What about if the tires are low in air, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or the spark
No
plugs
oxygen.
in the old cars were dirty, right?
Yeah.
This is what goes on, folks, and you may not notice it today or this year or next year, but eventually it'll get you.
Yep.
So you got to take a good multi, and we fortified the woman's complete, now the men's complete. These are second to none on the market, Joe.
No, look at this. I mean, you've got antioxidants, you've got support for glutathione. We've got a superfood blend in a multivitamin. Okay, that's in and of itself.
And we didn't stop there.
It. No, we didn't stop there. What do men need? They need help for cardiovascular health, right? Immune health. How about the joints and the muscles?
What about a hormone, Joe?
Ah, now you're talking.
Yeah.
Got to have hormone support in there. But of course, this multivitamin is loaded, folks. And you know what's great? It's only in 4 capsules a day. Capsules, not tablets.
You can do up to 4.
Up to 4.
Can you
right?
take one?
Absolutely.
Can you do 2 or 3?
Absolutely. Whatever you like.
And I always recommend take them with the first meal of the day and take them at night.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in the morning, you're doing your shake, take it with that.
Right.
If not, take it with dinner.
Exactly.
It's a nice, easy way to get it in. Do that 1 or 2 dose per day.
Right. We got eye health support in here. We've got ACEs in here. We've got, of course, the methylated folate, dimethylglycine in a multivitamin.
Darn mighty good. That's what I've been told.
Oh, boy. It's all in there, folks. Just like Talia sauce. It's in there.
It's all in there, huh?
Yeah. All right. Doesn't stop there, Phil. Carotenoids, red beetroot powder, nitric oxide support in a multivitamin. It just doesn't get any better. Well, we didn't stop there, right? L-arginine. L-arginine in a multivitamin. How about CoQ10?
Usually if you see CoQ10, it's 1 milligram.
1 milligram, right. It's incredible. All right, so you also have homocysteine. Now, this used to be a formula all by itself, too. B6, B12, and folic acid.
I just heard Jeff Bland telling a testimonial about his dad who was suffering from neurological issues.
Right.
He put him on B6, B12, and folate.
Mm-hmm.
His mom called and says, your dad woke up today, got dressed, right? Asked me to go on the picnic.
Nice.
And then he got on his computer because he loved to write. And he got on his computer. And he says for the last 4 years of his life, I got goosebumps. He had the quality of life restored. And he had his independence back. Just because Dr. Bland did some homework and some genetic testing and found B6, B12, and folate will help when you have an issue with MTHFR.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there it is. And that's about 45% of the population, maybe more at this point, has that problem. And I'm sure you and Tracy will cover that this Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
So, men's sexual health, our favorite topic. Yep, it's in there, folks. All right, a little saw palmetto, great for prostate health. Lycopene, great for prostate. I mean, when we make sauce, we get the rest of the tomato paste and just eat it out with a spoon out of the can, right? Arginine, excellent for erectile dysfunction. I mean, it just goes on and on. So this is a complete men's formula. We left no issue untouched.
No, the nice thing is I like to do the 1-2 punch because wait till you see some of the new research on omega-3s, right? Because we found out that every cell in your body is comprised of the cellular membrane that is omega-3 fatty acids.
Right.
So every cell needs omegas, right? You can't put it in a multi. And if the omegas is low in your body, you don't produce what?
Oh, you don't produce SPMs.
Not a good thing, folks. I'm so excited for this week. It's going to be a big one.
Big one coming up. So again, they're an easy to swallow vegetarian caps. There's nothing in. I mean, we've seen multivitamin. Jeff has people bring them in, and you've had these. These.
Well, 7.7 nutrition with Paulina Petrusevich.
Oh, right. The
has a basket of shame. She makes every client come in.
Yeah.
They review the products.
Yeah.
And the ones that are bad, she drops them in the basket. And says, wait a minute. She goes, I'm saving your life. You wasted your money.
Yes. Yeah. And that made that old statement actually come true, right? You're not doing nothing more than wasting your money or making expensive urine. If you're using these over-the-counter multivitamins with shellac on them, with artificial colors and preservatives in them.
If you go to our event this week, a professional training event, you will get the high quality from Nutritional Frontiers. Not only our omegas, not only our multis, but also the SPMs, because you're going to see how it's so important at every stage in life. Because, I always thought of infertility as the woman's fault. But, whose fault it is, right?
Of course.
A lot of times it's the male's fault.
According to them, it's always our fault.
Yes.
But, yeah.
So we're going to show how infertility affects 1 in 5 people. We're going to show how it's not only, conception, but carrying that to term.
Right.
And then the first 2 years of life, how vital that is.
So vital. And I think that's gotten so lost in the shuffle. So that's going to be an amazing presentation. Of course, all the references are here. They're all available to you. They always are on the Nutritional Frontiers website. Always there. Full disclosure. It's all there. The new Frontier Men's Complete, the newest addition to the Complete series.
Well, Joe, thank you so much. I always learn so much from the head trainer here at Nutritional Frontiers, doing a great job. Thanks to Philly Phil on the board. And we will stop right here.
We will stop here. Yes, at least for this one. See you,
Well,
folks.
we'll see everyone at our event.
See you Saturday.
We're here in Pittsburgh, April 9th. We're in Hollywood, Florida, April 28th to 30th. And we're double dipping, Joe.
Double dipping.
Double up the ketchup.
Yep.
We're going to be in Houston, Texas.
The boots are coming out.
Have a great month.